Alright, well, I was checking out some videos on this Sofrin sc28, and I didn't realize that this wasn't the same as the TD02. I thought they were the same. What I didn't realize is the TD02 looks like this, but it uses the 18650, and this one uses the 21700. And that's kind of a big deal because the size of the batteries is quite different. So I believe 21700s are what Tesla has actually switched to. So you have a couple different sizes of batteries. I don't have a 21 here, but this is an 18650 next to a 26650, and the 21700 would be in between here. Okay, the difference is, so the first two numbers are the diameter and the last three are the length. So these 650s are both the same length. This is the 18650. The 18 is the diameter, so 21 is bigger. It's not 650, it's 700, so it's just slightly longer than these batteries. Certain flashlights, like this one here, actually are designed to run a 21700, but they come with a holder for AAA batteries, or they come with a sleeve so you can put your 18650 in there. And they've got coils on the tail and in here so that there's enough to make up for it, and you can run whatever battery you want. So it's nice to have a flashlight that will give you options like that. Whereas, you know, with these workhorse ones, you're stuck with whatever, and also they don't have a spring up in here, and so if it's a non-button top, it might not work well in there. If it's a button top, it might be too long in some of the other ones. So there's certain different things, but I didn't know that this was a 21700, so I went and ordered one, and the reviews on it actually are really, really good. But on Amazon it says it's a frequently returned item, and I'm not sure why. I guess because people probably don't like the user interface. It's a tactical flashlight, as they call it, so you have to do a bunch of really weird stuff to get into the different modes. A lot of guys are really, really weird and eccentric when it comes to flashlights. I don't know what the deal is. Like, and they like these really, really small flashlights, which to me, I don't understand. It's kind of like ham radios. I don't really care for tiny little radios, but if I'm not really a kind of guy that carries a flashlight in my pocket on a daily basis just to be like there and ready. It's kind of like the guy that has like the Bofang on his belt clip. I don't do that. I don't walk around and showcase my radio, you know. In fact, I generally don't like to be seen in public using a radio. I just think it kind of generates unwanted attention that I don't want, and possibly some mockery or whatever. You know, people are really pricks nowadays. You know, they're really quick to, like, you know, be assholes. So basically, I myself try and fly under the radar. I don't walk around advertising anything. I don't carry anything in my pocket except for a knife. I always have a knife. But anyway, we were looking at these somewhere else, and I had them pulled up. So let's see if we can find the workhorse version. We on the. So here's the TD02. Looks like it's $18 on their website. It's certainly not $18 on Amazon. I think it's $29 with maybe a 20% coupon. So it has a different type of optics on the end of it, but get that there. Look over here. So this is 280 lumen, 21700 battery. It's $35 on their website. There is 10% off. $31.99 if you didn't want the battery. Then this guy, I watched his video in action. It really did look like that at his place. The guy's really good at putting out these videos, so they send him these lights and he does reviews on them. He's really good at showcasing this. I think he's like in Thailand or something, you know. It's like, anyway, you get an idea of the size of the flashlight. It's larger. It's hard to tell the size of it hanging from there. That doesn't, I don't like, first of all, I'd never leave a light hanging like that. To me, that's stupid. I can't get to that quickly. It's, you know, that's how you lose stuff. Anyway. So it's 6,000 Kelvin. Unlike some of the other lights, this one actually supposedly, from the reviewers, does do 2,800 lumen, and it doesn't just do it for a couple of seconds. So a lot of the flashlights are rated at like some ridiculous amount, if it's honest, and they'll tell you, well, they can only do it for 30 seconds. Well, this one can do it for like a couple hours, and most of that's because of the size of the battery. So this has the XHP Cree 50, which says it's a D. I don't know what that is. A, B, C, D. I think it's a number 3.3. Variation number 3. It has I believe a mechanical switch, which some people like, some people don't like. It says it's an E switch though. Some other reviewers have said it's a mechanical switch. I really don't know. So this thing has been as cheap as $19 on Amazon, I think, and I didn't realize it at the time of what it was. Like, this is basically the one I'd been looking for. The box, if you look at the box, Sofrin and Workhorse, they're made. See how the label is? The boxes are the same. It'll tell you like the lumen, the throw. Supposedly, I don't know which one is this. This is 3,500 max lumen. This is the sc28 I have here, and they tell you like the lumens and how much runtime you get. Apparently, if you look here, you see you have to have the XHP 50 to get 3,500. The other one, this sc28, only puts out 2050. And I could definitely vouch for the numbers on some of these between these two lights that I have. But the temperature on these also makes it look different. So I don't know what to do with the box for the other one, but they don't have as much throw. So this ended up being on Amazon. It's a lot cheaper, like $26 with tax. So the Sofrin has a lot of different lights. They seem to be a little bit cheaper than Workhos sometimes. And they almost always have a version of Workhos. So when you're looking at, this is what's deceptive about Amazon and any other thing on the web. That looks like a small flashlight. It looks like it's going to be an 18650. Based on the picture, you're looking at the rest of the pictures, all the other flashlights in the pictures. Here's an sc28. There's this one here. This actually is kind of a smaller light. We have these. They're really small. These are kind of large. But the problem with looking at stuff on here is you really don't know how big it is unless somebody's holding it like that and you go, oh. And with the Chinese and their advertising, that could be completely fake. So what I didn't want is I don't want a button with a clip and have the thing in my pocket. I have tried to carry these because they're actually a really good size, but a couple of times it's turned on in my pocket, and it lets you know pretty quick when it comes on high, because whatever. So what guys will say, well, all you need to loosen the tail cap so it can't turn on. Well, I don't want to do that. I just don't want it to turn on in my pocket. So the tactical style flashlight without the extra button, you shouldn't have to worry about that, because unless you bump the tail of the flashlight, you shouldn't have a problem. Here is one that's kind of an interesting one. We don't easily find out what the battery is in any of these without going to their website usually. Anyway, let's go back over here to the light we were trying to look at. We'll scroll down a little bit. These are supposed to be really interesting for long throw. I don't know what you call that lens. I don't know if it's a TIR or what it is. So these actually are kind of small. They're sort of goofy looking though. It does have the Android 2.0 on it, which I'm not really crazy about. $45, 5% off. That's actually a Workhos. Sofrin makes a version of it also. Well, we're seeing all Workhos now. So here's a TDO4, dual switch, tactical-ish. Lots of other companies make these. Superfire. Light. Anyway, so some of these can be pretty easy to accidentally turn on in your pocket. That's the problem. Ooh, a pistol light. I didn't know that. That's kind of cool. This one here is more my style kind of light. The shape of it. Have a larger head on it, removable metal bezel. Looks like a nice LED without maybe a dome on it, maybe. Hard to tell. It claims 5,000 lumen. Tail E-switch, long range, 182 meters. It looks really nice. Charge is on the bottom. That's different. Yeah, you can break glass with it. Electrothermal separation design. $30% coupon. I mean, this is like $64 flashlight. That's ridiculous. Anyway, it's always the ones that are expensive that I like. Let's get back over to where we were. Okay, so this one, $39. You have a 40% coupon, which puts it at about $23, and then about $26 when you buy it. So their shipping date is way the hell out now. Like I ordered yesterday, and I think had I ordered it maybe a couple hours earlier, it could have came on Monday. And I ordered it. It was Tuesday, so it's not even a day later. It's Wednesday and Thursday now for this. Amazon actually looked almost normal yesterday as far as shipping things, but now I see things are getting bumped out further and further again. So anyway, I think this could be a really good carry, just for the fact that it's going to be a little bit larger, extra bright, and you're going to know it's in your pocket, but it should fit in there fine. And the small ones, some of them are so small that it's easy to drop them. You know, they're so small. These ones actually have really kind of sharp machined edges, so they're not too bad. But I mean, it's just it's not quite the same as this. So I'm guessing that this light is going to be around this size, like this one. So I'm guessing that that's what we're kind of looking at. Now, these lights here, I really like them, and they were a really good price. They're discontinued, and they have the LED alike, and they zoom. And they actually aren't bad in the pocket. If you just put the clip somewhere where it's out of the way. Also, I guess with some of the other ones, you can do a lockout mode, but like the thing is, if it's considered to be a tactical light, I guess the idea is somebody's trying to attack you, you pull out this light and you blind them and they run off and scream. I don't know, but if it's locked out, well, then you've got to figure out how to unlock it in a fight or flight kind of situation, and that's never a good thing. So this thing has 4-star review and out of 79 ratings, but if you scroll down, it will say, usually, at least it does on my phone, it says that it's a frequently returned item. And it's kind of interesting that it would be a frequently returned item when it has like 4-star reviews. We could go over here and look at the 1-star reviews and just kind of, you get an idea of like, well, what was the problems these people had? It stopped working, tried 2 new batteries. Certainly this can happen with these. Here's somebody that's upset that it didn't come with 3 program modes. Well, for those that have done lots of research on these, they've switched them because people complained that the 3 program modes were too complicated. This guy's calling it the bait and switch. Item advertised as having 3 program modes: tactical, duty, and simple. I ordered 3 of these as Christmas gifts, and the units which I received have only 2 program modes. tactical, and duty. Items return for replacement, and once again, replacement units only have 2 program modes. Yes, because they have updated it, because people said, we don't want 3. So you can't get them with 3. So the simple mode has been removed or something. It also appears Sofrin has pulled this model from its website, so something is going on with this particular model. Do your research. It's been talked about all over the internet. These people always say, garbage, skip this one. I wanted a halfway decent flashlight in my vehicle. This is not. It stopped working after a few charges. No physical damage. Battery seems fine. Holds voltage. Just poorly designed. Well, I'm sure there's going to be some duds. How many reviews do we have here? We have 6 1-star reviews. No thanks. It will blink after 5 seconds each and every time you turn it on. It is super annoying. Some people have seen what it looks like in the video. I can barely even catch it with my eye. So after it blinks is when you can do something if you push the button really fast and get into a program mode. That's why it blinks. No matter what you do, it will always blink after 5 seconds, showing you that you can change the program at this point, and there is no way to disable it. Okay. This other person said, no way to charge, no incentive to send it back. Junk. That doesn't make sense. No incentive. So that's kind of the reviews you get. 2-star. Only 2 reviews. It's way too complicated to operate. It has 3 modes with numerous modes within. The only way to operate the light is with the tail switch. I'm a big believer in Sofrin lights. I currently own 20 Sofrin lights. The sc28 to me is a disappointment. They tried to put 10 pounds of sugar into a 1-pound bag. This is a very nice flashlight. It's very confusing as to which mode you're in, and I can't figure it out. So I bought a different light, but I really wanted to like this light. So these are all, if you kind of pay attention to them, they're, people just, don't like the way it is. Not like it's a piece of crap. Apparently they did some Vine reviews. I really don't care for the Vine reviewer people because they generally are dishonest or biased. But when they give a low-star review, it's always kind of interesting. Extremely bright flashlight, useful features, dragged down by an awful manual and confusing controls. Yeah, anyway. Very diffused flood beam. There's one thing about this light that nobody can deny. It's bright. The problem is that it's a very diffused flood. It certainly won't light up something 200 plus meters away as described, but it will very easily light up my whole backyard only at a distance of 25 to 30 feet. As some other reviews have commented, it is so diffused that it makes it less useful. An additional problem is the program system has 3 separate programs and multiple modes in each program, all controlled by the single switch on the back of the flashlight. Switching between the modes is not at all intuitive. I have to read the instructions a couple of times to get it. I think the manufacturer must know that it's not very obvious, as well as the description includes how to change the programs in the 3 different places. So I think they must know people have had a hard time figuring out the programming. As it appears, a very nicely made, machined, extremely bright, uses a 21700 lithium cell. So if you want to run in turbo mode all the time, you can, as long as you have a pocket full of 2100 cells, and it doesn't shut down from overheating. Anyway, the description is not actually very helpful. If you look at the actual photos in the description of the light, you can see the person using it is pretty close to the foliage being lit up, certainly not 200 millimeters away. super bright. In turbo mode, all these program modes with the holding button and pressing are a bit unusual. The pocket clip is heavy duty and it comes with a nice wrist lanyard. Then we get into the 4-star reviews. First one lasted 2 weeks. Hope it's just a fluke. So far so good. So far so good. Great if you can get it when it's on sale. The flashlight is extremely bright, but it does drop off pretty fast in a couple of minutes on turbo. Comes with 21700, which I think is pretty good for the price. It charges decently quick. Blah blah blah. This guy says it's incredible. No, it's horrible. No, it's actually great once I figured out how it worked. Works well. Liz is a star due to intense heat. Serious amount of lumens for small size. Mixed feelings. So anyway, it's kind of one of those lights that people love or hate it, I guess. Awkward, confusing UI. Yeah. Anyway, there's pages and pages of reviews on it, but what I found when I looked on the videos of it is that it seems like an interesting light for the price. So I figured I would give it a try, and if it really is not good, I'll just send it back. I don't need any more lights, but I just I'm still looking for a tactical one. So I don't have any tactical ones. And the closest to tactical light that I have is the Naboo, and it's the only tail switch one I actually have. And I actually don't care for it because of the battery that it uses. I can't switch out the battery because it uses a proprietary cell that has a weird little button on the bottom. But that's the only one I have that's anywhere near tactical. As far as, I don't even mean tactical, I just, mean like being able to use the tail switch. This is also, probably they should have went up a size. This is definitely a nice shape and size for a light. But you definitely don't really want to put this in your pocket. I couldn't see carrying it around. If you carried it around all the time, like, it would eventually probably get dust and crap in it. But like I said, I'm not really necessarily a pocket carrying flashlight person. So we're gonna try this one when it gets here, and I'll let you guys know what I think. But I thought it was a pretty good deal considering that it's about $26, and on Sofrin's website it's going to be basically a lot more. It's going to be $35.99 plus tax. I'm paid $26 with the tax, so it's $23. So Sofrin is charging about $12, $13 more. So it's definitely a deal on Amazon.